Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today, man, I'm going to be talking about Rockstar Games, which was always pretty much either my favorite developer or it was a top 3 favorite developer for me over time. Rockstar Games is actually one of the companies that got me into video games in the first place, and in fact, it was such an influential company on my life that at one point when I wanted to be a video game developer for a dream job, my plan was to go to school for computer programming and computer science, and then go and try to work at Rockstar Games to work on Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, and other games like that. That was at one point a legitimate career path for me, but of course, well, obviously that's not what happened. And honestly, I gotta say, I probably have a better job now than I would then, but unfortunately in the last couple of weeks, I've realized that this company is no longer the company that it was when I was a kid. Rockstar is no longer that company that is making all of the classic AAA titles that we've all come to know and love. You know, all of these Grand Theft Auto games, the Red Dead Redemption games. Even if you've played their quote-unquote off titles, like Manhunt and Bully, you'll realize very quickly that Rockstar has put out some of the fucking greatest video games of all time. There is no contest. I mean, they have an incredible lineup of games across multiple generations of consoles over multiple decades. It is an impressive resume, but when all of that has been basically put to shame by their recent behavior, and as a company they've shown absolutely zero interest in not only doing the right thing for their fans, but also just simply only prioritizing the profit, not even attempting to put out a product that functions properly anymore. All of these things have kind of led me to this point where I can honestly say I don't think I'm a Rockstar Games fan anymore. I'm pretty sure that ship has sailed. I mean, it feels like it's been coming for a while now, but it finally happened. And let me go ahead and break this down for you. So I kind of want to go chronologically. Let me explain this first. I got into video games first at the age of 3. My dad actually introduced me to video games on the PlayStation 2. And the games that I started off playing were Madden 2003 and Grand Theft Auto 3. I know a lot of people, oh, I can't believe you'd let a 3-year-old kid play GTA 3 or anything like that, but, I think I ended up fine, right? I don't think that it was that big of a deal or anything like that, but yeah, that was one of my first video games, and I have always been in love with Grand Theft Auto. I have played pretty much every single one of them. I've even played, like, Chinatown Wars and, like, some of the DS ports and stuff like that. I love the franchise. I mean, it's been very influential on my life. I mean, at one point, like, I idolized the people making these games so much that I wanted to go work alongside them on these games, but that has been a long time ago, obviously, and, well, Rockstar, not necessarily the same company anymore. I do want to go ahead and preface this with the fact that Rockstar Games is actually owned by Take-Two Interactive. And I think a lot of the financial decisions are really being kind of made by Take-Two and not Rockstar, which might be leading to some of the problems that I'm about to address in this video, but even then, it's really not an excuse. So the two things that I'm going to be talking about in this video are Grand Theft Auto Online / GTA 5 / GTA 6 and the Grand Theft Auto Remastered Trilogy. So right now, you are watching GTA San Andreas Remastered, okay? This is the definitive edition of the game according to Rockstar. Obviously, this, if you didn't know, has come to be one of probably the largest disasters in gaming history. I mean, it's been completely panned across the board. People have been shitting on this since the moment that it came out. Everything got so bad with this game that Rockstar actually ended up taking it not only out of people's libraries on PC through the Rockstar launcher, but delisted it completely from stores for like 3 days. So let me explain this to you. So I bought this, right? Literally the day before it came out because I was dumb and forgot what day it was and everything, and I made a mistake. I ended up technically pre-ordering it, but I go to play it the next day, everything's good, except for the game is completely rife with a bunch of fucking issues. And I understand leaving some of like the more memorable bugs / glitches in the game of a remaster to make it more true to the game that it actually was and whatnot, but I've noticed a lot of issues with this game that I never noticed with the original game. For instance, it's gotten so bad that at times the game flat out freezes and crashes. There's a couple bridges around the map that just literally do not even load or spawn in, and you just can't cross there. I don't even know how that's possible, considering it's a major method, I guess, for getting around the map and everything. I'm about to show you guys a video clip here. This is a mission in the game. I don't know how far into the game this actually is. I don't remember the, I guess, long-term, layout of the game or anything mission-wise, but, you gotta go and ram these ambulances in Las Venturas to try and get this guy. And once you figure out which ambulance it actually is or whatever, you gotta drive it back to, like, this meat factory or whatever to drop him off, and that's how you complete the mission, okay? Not a huge deal, except for the fact that I have completed the mission that you're looking at 3 separate times, and what you're seeing on the screen right now is what has happened every single time. So what's basically been happening is I go through the whole mission, I get this guy back to where he's dropped off at, and the cutscene just fucking breaks and just hovers here like this, and nothing is ever done after this. I mean, you can let the game run for as long as you want. I've let the game run for 45 minutes to see if it just somehow breaks out of this little glitch or whatever, and it never does. So there's literally a mission in the game that is so fucking broken that you cannot complete it. And this is a critical storyline mission, I'm pretty certain, so I'm pretty sure you literally can't progress in the game unless you get through this cutscene, which once again is completely fucking bugged. Like I said, I've tried doing this 3 separate times, and I've done it on 3 separate days to see if maybe they released some sort of, hot fix or whatever for it, something. And no, what they could do, they could take the game completely off the market and out of my inventory so I couldn't play the game I purchased for $60 for however long, right? Because the developers were too fucking lazy to take out, the files that referenced the hot coffee mod that almost got the game a adults only rating back in the 2000s. So they were too lazy to do that. They had to go back and fix that. They literally left music in the radio stations in the files of the game that they no longer had the rights to. Basically fucking copyright infringement out the ass is what I would assume, but all of this shit it seems like it would take 5 minutes, right? Like you go in and just get rid of that shit. And they've had however long to do this, all these years to get this done, and they couldn't do it before it came out. So they can magically go back and fix all these fucking problems, but when it comes to the literally game-breaking bug in a 20-year-old video game, they just have no comprehension on how to fix that fucking problem. So I tweeted out on November 21st, I tweeted this clip and everything, and I basically said that I'm refunding the game, and that's true. I did actually go through Rockstar's support and, file a request for a refund. I sent them a link to the video on the tweet. I told them, the game is so goddamn broken, you've disappointed a longtime fan. Not that they care or anything, right? But just to say it or whatever, because you gotta fucking fill out and tell them what happened or whatever. And, you just gotta put something. So I filed that on November 21st. It is November 28th now that I'm making this video, so a full week, and I've gotten 0 response from Rockstar Games about this. They haven't pledged to fix the issue, they haven't given me the refund that I requested, they haven't even apologized for the shit show of a fucking quote-unquote video game that they've made here. Yeah, they just blatantly ignored it. Now, I don't know if this is because so many people are flooding Rockstar's support page with refunds that they just can't keep up with it anymore, but I mean, when you're a AAA billion-dollar company, I kind of expect I expect for you to respond within a week when it comes to a consumer complaint. So at this point, I'm pretty sure I'm just simply not gonna get my fucking refund, and I'm stuck with this broken disaster of a game. This is a complete disgrace to the original games, which is such a shame because I was genuinely excited for these remasters because every single one of these games in this definitive trilogy has impacted my life. I mean, once again, my dad got me into gaming with GTA 3. Me and my dad would stay up late playing San Andreas, doing the gang wars, doing the missions. My dad and I remember going into a local video game store back in the mid to late 2000s and buying a copy of Vice City for me for the PS2 so I could go home and play it, okay? I remember every single one of these games throughout my childhood. If it wasn't for Grand Theft Auto, I quite literally would not have a career right now because my entire YouTube channel has been based on video games basically from the fucking jump. And if I didn't have these games to grow up on, I would not have the love for video games that I do. And it's such a goddamn shame that these games that are so critically acclaimed, that have been so important to the gaming industry and to so many millions of people, have been pissed on like this. I know that I'm late to the punch with this. I told you guys, like I said the other day, I've been sick and everything, but I had to say something about this. This is fucking absurd. There's no reason this should be happening. And this is realistically just the icing on the cake. I mean, for the last few years, right, people have been saying that Rockstar needs to get the fucking ball rolling again. They've been messing up. Grand Theft Auto Online is borderline unplayable. Red Dead Online is just... do they even fucking try? Let's just ask that question. Rockstar, do you even try with Red Dead Online? Do you guys even care about that fucking game? I know it's not making that GTA Online money, but even then, you don't think you can do some fan service and do a little bit more updating and make it worth playing? It's so sad because Grand Theft Auto Online, like when it first came out, was one of those games that like I played every day with my friends, and now we can't even justify getting on the game anymore because it's just fucking boring. It's the same shit to do that there's been since like 2015. Yeah, you can run some businesses if you're not getting fucking griefed by the loser sitting in an orbital cannon the whole game. Yeah, you can kind of ride around with your friends and do the like free missions or whatever and everything. Yeah, if there's not somebody on a flying motorcycle with heat-seeking missiles or a modder in the lobby who's going to put you in a fucking cage in the middle of the map. But yeah, please go ahead and tell me, you know, about how great Rockstar's doing. Yeah, go ahead and tell me how great of a company this is. They did used to be a great company, okay? Rockstar, they did, and still do, realistically make some of the greatest video games of all time. Let's not pretend like Red Dead Redemption 2 still wasn't a masterpiece and Grand Theft Auto 5 still isn't one of the most important video games of all time. I'm not here to debate that. Rockstar, they do put out good video games, but when it comes down to doing the right thing for the consumer, when it comes down to doing something that, you know, maybe wouldn't make the most money, but just putting in a little bit more time and effort to actually make it a full-fledged product, when it comes down to actually giving fans what they want, oh, I don't know, Grand Theft Auto 6? Genuinely good remasters of 3 of the greatest video games of all time, things like that, Rockstar just couldn't be fucking bothered. And it's so sad because this is one of those companies that, like, if they did care, if they did put in that effort, there really isn't that many gaming studios to compete with them at this point, right? Like, how many other companies are doing what Rockstar could be doing right now? How many companies are going to be competing with Rockstar if they're on their fucking A game? There really isn't that many, but Rockstar doesn't care about being on their A game. They don't care about releasing an actual remaster. They don't care about putting out, you know, functioning fucking products. Or at the bare minimum, owning the fact that they fucked it up and giving me my refund. That would be pretty nice, but it's just so annoying. It's so goddamn, it bothers me, man, in all reality. And I know it bothers a lot of you too. I know I was a little bit late when it comes to talking about this whole thing, but I can't let it go, right? Like, it's so fucking annoying because I tried my best to, I guess, resolve all of this my own way. I don't give a fuck about this trilogy anymore. I can just go get the original games off of, you know, Steam keys for like $3 a piece or anything. I actually, you know, considering I love these games so much, I bought like 6 copies of them already, so I don't really give a god any, like, I don't give a fuck about these remasters, okay? And they can take their fucking game back. I just want my money back. But, you know, I don't think that's ever gonna happen at this point, and it's just a shame because Rockstar, you really fucked up, man. I know I'm not the only person who's been just utterly disappointed throughout this entire process and just not understanding why the fuck this even really happened in the first place, but I mean, that's just really all I have to say. Thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shop Opti down below, and until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, wanting my refund, and signing out.